So here's a picture from a Black Lives Matter rally in Arizona just last night. We see a guy holding a Trump sign engulfed in an ocean of black people who are threatening him, assaulting him, kicking him, beating him. Of course, taking his sign, stealing his hat. What was your first reaction on seeing this photograph? Mine was, that could have been you. I mean, how many of us on this YouTube channel would have been out there holding a sign, not waiting for 8 million people so we can be the 8 millionth and first? No, just decided, you know what, I'm going to grab my Trump sign and go down there and speak the truth, demand the truth, even if I'm the only guy down there doing it. And that's what this guy did. He's a hero for that, by the way. And this is what happened to him. Yesterday, somebody sent me a story, and the email said, Colin, did you see this? Newt Gingrich supports Black Lives Matter. It came from Yahoo. And I said, okay, well, you know, they're always doing crazy stories about Republicans. I'm sure that isn't true. I looked it up on a different news source. Sure enough, there's Newt Gingrich explaining to us unenlightened people that white people do not understand black people, which is exactly what Hillary Clinton says. And black people are relentless victims of relentless white racism all the time, everywhere. That explains everything, especially why cops are always picking on black people for no reason whatsoever. He pretty much said that. And so now, you know, every day people come to this YouTube channel and my Facebook page and email, and they said, Colin, what are we supposed to do now? I don't know what we're supposed to do now, other than what this guy at this rally did. He just took his sign and he said, I'm not waiting for anybody. I'm going to take my damn sign down to that Black Lives Matter rally and speak the truth and demand the truth, put up my Trump sign, and that's it. So that's a choice all of us have to make. What are we going to do? If Newt Gingrich now is talking in an insane fashion, he joins people like Rand Paul, Marco Rubio, even Chris Christie, John Kasich. We've documented all this on this channel. They bought into the greatest hoax of this generation, the myth of black victimization. Anyway, we have a little bit of video from it shows what the rally was like, where the guy got the hell beat out of him. Let's roll that. It's going to be hard to see. In about 10 seconds in, I'll put an arrow on it. You'll see the guy holding the sign. So this happened all over the country last night. Atlanta, Rochester, lots of other places, Oakland. All these peaceful, largely peaceful rallies that are not peaceful whatsoever. And so when people ask, you know, what can I do? Well, each of us has to answer that question for themselves. We saw what this one guy did. He decided he was going to make his stand by himself, and we have to applaud him for that. Not everybody's in a position that guy is in. Maybe you work in a cubicle. Maybe you're a teacher. Maybe you're a cop. Maybe you can't go down and expose yourself publicly because you will lose your job, your career, your life, and your family. But there are a lot of ways to stand up and fight the greatest hoax of our generation, the myth of black victimization. That's what this rally is all about. We know that the cops are not the creators of the violence. The cops are the victims of black violence and and resentment and hatred and taunting all over the country. That is the default response now. Black on cop. Defiance, threats, and violence. And so, I think a lot of people think, well, I want to do one thing to make a statement that's going to rock the world. Well, that's not the way the world works. You get to make a statement that rocks your world, no matter how big it is. It could be just the 3 by 3 foot square foot of ground that you're standing on right now. So if you want to do something, start here. Support this channel. I'm in a position where I can say these things in public, and nobody's going to call my boss. And nobody's going to call my boss and say, you got to fire that guy, Colin Flaherty, because I've worked for myself, and I worked for myself for a very long time. So support this. Start off by supporting this channel. Like this video. Like all the videos. That makes a difference. That makes a huge difference. Subscribe to this channel. Share these videos on Twitter and Facebook, on email. Ask your friends, have you seen this? Did you see that? And don't feel like you have to be the one to explain the entire world to people who are in denial about the reality of it. If you see somebody standing out there in the rain and they say it's sunny out, are you going to go explain to them how the rain falls from the clouds because the cold front meets the warm front and creates precipitation and creates all these little crystals, and when they fall to earth they turn into... Who the hell knows what the explanation is? But really, do you feel like you need to explain all these things to a person who denies that it's even raining out? That's the world we're living in. But just ask them, do you see this? Did you read that? Read Don't Make the Black Kids Angry. There's a ton of stuff in there on black on cop violence, and how cops are the relentless targets of black violence now every day on the job. Share that book. Read it. If you read some comments in a newspaper, say, hey, don't make the black kids angry. Call a talk radio station. You want to hit a home run, call Rush Limbaugh tomorrow or Monday. Call them. Call Savage. Call Sean Hannity. If you're going to wait around for somebody to invite you to become the president of the United States so you can change all this thing with the stroke of a pen and executive order, well, that's not the way this world is working. The world's working the way it is now is because we have allowed this enormous lie to spread and become the truth. And we're not going to wait for CNN, MSNBC, and a lot of people at Fox to figure it out either. We are the media. We have figured it out. We are going to spread the word. That's your challenge. And maybe you have some your other ideas. Well, do them. Except when you do them with civility. Nobody wants to hear somebody acting like an asshole. Pardon my language. I'd probably drop somebody from the page if they said that on my page. Nobody wants to hear somebody talking like an asshole, dropping N-bombs, J-bombs, F-bombs. That's why we are where we are, because so many people have marginalized themselves with obscenities, vulgarities, stuff you wouldn't say at a dinner table where your mom was sitting. Oh yeah, and so let's close it up on this story from this morning's paper from Rochester. A guy shoots a cop in the head. He just got out of prison. The cop survived, barely. So how many years do you think that's worth? In Rochester? 7.
The man convicted of shooting a Rochester police officer in the head was released from prison today. Taquan Rivera is now 21. He was 14 years old when he shot Officer Anthony DePonzio in 2009. Officer DePonzio survived the shooting. Rivera was convicted and sentenced to 3.5 to 10 years in prison. He will live in Erie County and is required to wear a GPS device.
Oh yeah, here's one more thing you can do. At the next Black Lives Rally Matter, where people are trashing cars, throwing rocks at cops, look around for Newt Gingrich. Hand him a sign that says, "Don't make the black kids angry."